All right, let's talk about one of the most extreme, radical, and frankly, unavoidable topics of our time, the future of artificial intelligence. And we're not just throwing darts at a board here. We're looking at the hard predictions from two people who have been right at the center of this whole revolution, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt and OpenAI's former chief scientist Ilya Sutskever. Let's break down what they see coming, because it is wild.
You know, Ilya Sutskever basically said it all with this line. You may not be interested in AI, but AI is definitely interested in you. And that's the whole point, right? This isn't some niche tech story anymore. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, a lawyer, a plumber. The changes that are barreling down the road are so massive that ignoring them just isn't an option. AI is going to touch everyone's life, and it's happening way faster than any of us are really ready for. So just how fast are we talking? Well, according to Eric Schmidt, you can forget about measuring this in decades. We're talking months. What he thinks is coming in just the next year, well, it's set to completely turn some of the most skilled professions in our economy completely upside down.
Okay, so brace yourself, because Schmidt's timeline it's just staggering. Within a single year, 1 year, he predicts AI will be good enough to replace most programmers and even operate at the level of a top-tier mathematician. And it doesn't stop there, it accelerates. In just 3 to 5 years, bam, we hit artificial general intelligence, AGI. And 6 years from now, something else entirely, artificial superintelligence.
And if you're thinking this is all just some far-off theory, it's not. It is already happening. Schmidt points out that right now, in the big AI labs, the computers are already writing 10 to 20% of their own code. That's recursive self-improvement in the wild. AI literally making itself smarter by rewriting its own software. That's the engine that's driving this whole crazy train.
And this just fundamentally changes how we create things. For years, the big question for a software developer was, oh, what language do you code in? According to Schmidt, that question is basically becoming irrelevant. The new game is all about designing the outcome. You just describe what you want, the end goal, and the AI handles the messy, complicated part of actually writing the code to get you there.
So let's jump to that next huge milestone on the timeline and see how this all connects: the arrival of artificial general intelligence. This is the moment AI stops being just a tool for a specific job and starts becoming a general problem solver that's just as smart as we are.
So what even is AGI? Well, according to what Schmidt calls the San Francisco consensus, AGI is a system that's as smart as the smartest human expert in any field. I mean, think about that. It's like having the world's best doctor or architect or physicist or political strategist right in your pocket, ready to help with any problem you've got. That's the promise of AGI. So how would this AGI actually show up in our lives? Well, it'll probably be through what the insiders are calling agents. And look, these are not just chatbots that answer one question at a time. An agent is an AI that you can give a complex, multi-step mission to, and it'll just go do it, start to finish, remembering what it did, learning along the way.
Schmidt gives this fantastic, kind of wild example. Imagine telling an agent, buy me a house. It goes out, it finds the land, it researches all the zoning laws, it handles the transaction, it designs the house, it hires a contractor, and he even jokes it could then sue the contractor for you if they do a bad job. I mean, that's one single command that automates an entire professional process. That's the kind of disruption we're talking about. Okay, so if AGI already sounds like it's going to change the world, the next step on this timeline is almost impossible to wrap your head around. This is the leap from an intelligence that matches ours to one that far, far surpasses it. This is artificial superintelligence, or ASI.
But how is that even possible? Well, Sutskever grounds this whole idea in a really simple but powerful argument. Our brains, he says, are biological computers. They're proof that a machine made out of matter can produce intelligence and consciousness. So, if that's true, why couldn't a digital computer, a digital brain, eventually do the same things? And maybe even more.
And that simple idea leads directly to Schmidt's staggering conclusion. ASI isn't just about a computer that's smarter than one person. We're talking about an intelligence that is smarter than all of humanity combined. An intelligence that can solve problems we can't even begin to imagine.
So just to be crystal clear, ASI means an intelligence greater than our collective human brain power. It can improve itself without us. The consensus among the people building it is that it could be here in as little as 6 years. And maybe the most critical part, Schmidt warns that our society, our laws, our democracy, we don't even have the words for this stuff yet. We are not prepared.
I know. This can all feel incredibly overwhelming, maybe even a little scary, when you're staring down a future that seems this big, This unimaginable, and it's coming this fast. What on earth are we as individuals supposed to do about it? Well, first, we have to really appreciate the scale of what's happening. Sutskever does not mince words. He calls this the single greatest challenge humanity has ever faced, period. But he also says, with that challenge comes the greatest reward, if we can get it right.
His advice, though, is surprisingly simple. He argues that you don't need to become an expert overnight. You don't need to have all the answers. Right now, the single most important thing any of us can do is just not look away. The first step is simply to pay attention.
And he gives us a really practical guide for what paying attention actually means. Use the best AI tools that are out there right now. See what they can really do with your own two eyes. Don't just read about it. That direct experience, he says, that's what builds real intuition, a gut feeling. And that intuition is what's going to generate the collective energy we need to figure out the immense challenges and opportunities that are coming.
And so, we're left with a question that really gets to the very heart of everything, doesn't it? As we witness the birth of this new kind of intelligence, one that will soon surpass our own in pretty much every measurable way, we are forced to ask ourselves a fundamental question about our own place in the universe. In that new world, what will be the purpose of being human?